Hey folks, welcome back to the Hidden Day. We got another episode here pertaining your finances because we all know in God's kingdom we still have to take care of the finances. Isn't that right? So you remember Joe from before? This is Joe from Iron Hawk Financial. So Joe, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I know a lot of things have happened since we last spoke, but I wanted you to tell people how things have turned out for you and what you do for them, because I think things have turned out pretty well for you, regardless of what was happening in the market. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. Two of my major strategies that I actually invest in, you can't lose them.
Hmm.
And the market's been doing really well over the last 12 months, but I don't foresee that happening for the next 12 months. So yeah, I've been able to get a lot of upside for myself, my clients, even all three of my children have these type of strategies right when they were born.
Oh,
So
okay. Did they
it,
hire
it
you, your children?
Yeah, when they were in the boat, yeah, they signed their life away. They're like, yeah, Dad's gonna handle my money, absolutely.
Yeah, here you go, Dad. Thanks for
They,
looking
they,
out.
they signed it
Since
in
you're
dual.
funding it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So now let's remind everybody again, what do you do for people and what do they need to do to get hold of you? We'll start with the first one because I'm going to go down a rabbit trail.
So basically, what I do for clients is I take their existing market money, IRAs, 401ks, SEP simples, pensions, mostly government sponsored accounts. Defined as qualified money. And I put that into fixed index annuities through AAA rated mutual 175 plus year investment in insurance companies. And then those companies, what they do is they utilize option contracts. So they
Hmm.
utilize calls, puts, stops, warrants on low volatility mutual funds with long duration contracts, which keeps the cost very, very low to the insurance company. Therefore, there's a strategy that is zero cost to you, literally zero, no 12B1 fee, Class A share fund fee, money manager fee, annual account fee, nothing. And then
Hmm.
and then there's one where it's an optional 1% charge, which buys you more contracts.
Okay.
So basically, it's like a point to point system. Most commonly, it's 2 years. And then you're going to get 355% of whatever the fund did in a 24-month period. So if the fund gets 10%, you get credited 35.5. If the fund loses 10%, you get credited zero. So
Hmm.
it protects your principal by giving you the upside to cover inflation.
Okay, now I understand what you said, but most people don't. So what I like to do is, as I kind of give the analogy, is it's like renting out an apartment. So if you have an apartment, you can own it, and then hopefully it goes up and you can sell it. But if you rent it out every month, you're going to make money all along the way, regardless of where the cost of the house goes. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's very similar to that. You're not owning the actual physical asset, you're owning a contract on it that's betting on it going up. And on the flip side, the insurance company owns the contract of it going down. So if the market were to go down, the insurance company were to make money. That's how they don't charge you anything. And then if the market were to go up, you get all the benefits of the upside.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds like people would have to have someone else do that for them for the most part. Um, so, and I understand it because also contracts expire, and I think that's where the power of this is you sell things first, and then over time that diminishes, so you can technically buy it back for zero. So you've made that money and you kind of made it out of the gate. Am I correct in saying that, Joe?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much the strategy because, like you said, the contract expires wherever the market is at that point of the expiration is whether you're either going to make a ton of money or you're not going to lose anything.
Yeah, which is a pretty good options considering you could lose everything in the stock market.
Yeah, most people have what I call a naked 401k or IRA where
Hmm.
there's no protection. It's very high feed. Usually, it's very illiquid. You're at the mercy of the major hedge funds like the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, the Oppenheimers, and so this is in my opinion, a way better strategy because it allows you to have the same upsides as the market. You're still in the casino of upside, but now what you're doing is you're putting a stop loss on your principal so you cannot lose.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful. And I know this is interesting. So you say you can switch over IRAs. Now, ironically, not Iron Hawkley, ironically, I had a conversation with one of my IRAs today, and I won't tell you the name, but the initials are Merrill Lynch, and they said that you cannot do any option strategies in their particular plan. What if
Yep.
someone has an IRA like that? What can you do to help them?
I roll them into our special IRA that allows you to do it.
Mm,
So it's a 1035 IRS exchange. There's no taxes, penalties, or fees, or money transfers from your left hand to your right hand. So it's an equal transition or transaction. And then from our IRA, we then put it into the fixed index annuity, which has the option contracts built in.
okay. And if that, let's say someone has an IRA that is currently being funded weekly or biweekly, whatever their paycheck is, can you switch the paycheck to go into that every month or just what's existing in that IRA right now?
Yeah, so if they have an IRA that they're funding, I would highly recommend them to stop.
Mhm.
Qualified money, IRAs and 401ks, they're highly fee, taxable, illiquid. If there's a lawsuit or you're sued, it's going to be gone. So what I do for my clients, I take their existing qualified money, I roll it into that strategy. The new money that they were contributing into their taxable account, I have them build a legal tax-free account using section code IRS 7702, which allows clients to overfund a life insurance policy that's been averaging over 15% tax free on your money for the last 20 years.
Oh, okay. So, and you'll be able to walk them through that, so to speak, and give them the proper paperwork for them to sign?
Yeah, absolutely. I build a custom illustration for each one of my clients based on your risk tolerance, time horizon, your assets, your income, your liabilities, your monthly expenses. And then from there, I basically say, okay, if I were you, I would put X amount of money away, stop putting money in your left pocket, which would be your taxable pool of money, and start putting money in your right pocket, which would be your tax-free pool of money. So by diversifying, you're eliminating risk, mitigating risk from a tax standpoint, a market downside standpoint, and a liquidity standpoint.
Okay. Now, let's say they would they have to actually send that all into HR, or do they actually have to get the money and then turn around and give it to the investments that you have?
Yeah, so how it works is if you already have a qualified IRA and you're under 55, you'd have to call your HR department and see if they allow in-force distributions. So some carriers do, some carriers don't. If you're over 55, that percentage goes way up to like 99%. And so most carriers, besides like Empower and a couple others, but over 99%, allow an enforced distribution over 55. So what that means is, let's say you had $500,000 in your IRA. Let's say you wanted to move 200 or all of it. You can you can say how much you want to move. We open up an IRA through online application paperwork, and then we fill out an online transfer form. It would be e-signed. Most companies don't accept electronic signatures, so then I would just send you a form for you to actually wet sign or pen sign, and then you would send that back to me. We would then fax and mail it to your existing carrier to initiate the 1035 IRA exchange. Takes about 4 to 6 weeks, and then that money would be transferred over to your new IRA, where we would then put it in an annuity. Then you would receive a new policy, similar to one that I just got right when I was coming through the door. You get this little policy, and then you have 24/7 access to your account, and I'd be your advisor on the contract for the rest of your life, and I would never charge you a penny for my time.
Right, because these companies are investing your money. They obviously earn something, and they'll share that with you, so it doesn't cost the client anything. That's brilliant. Now, what if someone's getting a company match?
Yeah, so I advise my clients to go up to the match. So meaning if you're matched 3%, go to 3%. But
Okay,
if you're
but I
putting
mean,
in
I
15,
guess to clarify, would they still be able to match if they sent it over
absolutely.
to your program?
Yeah, so an IRA or a 401k to your current employer is always open. So If you had 500,000, we can roll over 499. We could, like you technically could roll over the entire amount, and then your new payment would just add into the account. So, my advice is if you're 100% matched, definitely do that because that's free money. Even though all of that money is going to the federal government in taxes, it's still a good strategy to have to try and outpace inflation. But if you're not being matched, unmatched qualified money, in my opinion, is the worst long-term investment you could possibly have.
Mm, agreed. And then obviously each person would be individual, and I would recommend guys that you actually call Joe, and he could walk you through these things. And Joe, how much is that going to cost him for a consultation?
It's free.
Look at that. Can you do any better?
I'll pay you. No, that's called rebating. It's getting cool.
I'll get you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I can send I think under $100 gifts to clients without reporting it. So.
I'm in. So that's not a bad idea. I think I just came up with a cool thing for you. You get a nice coffee card for everybody that has an appointment.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep, yep. So, wow, that sounds pretty excellent. Is there a minimum amount that people need to do?
So on the rollover side, it's a $25,000 minimum to rollover money. For new accounts, I have clients that do $5 million a year, and I have clients who do $200 a month. So if you're looking to diversify your taxation, your liquidity, your downside protection, you want an asset that's sue-proof, divorce-proof in some states, non-disclosable in the FAFSA form and secondary form, which doesn't disqualify your kids or grandkids from grants, scholarships, loan trace loans, or financial aid, and gives you long-term care, life insurance, disability, critical illness, critical injury, terminal illness, builds that foundation for the people you love and your next generation. This is by far a superior option than what I call a naked, 401k or IRA.
Mm. Yeah, I would tend to agree. Now, I heard you mention life insurance twice so far, so I want to clarify that. If we get this, there's actually you're getting life insurance along with it too. Is that part of the investment?
So there is two separate strategies. One is
Hmm.
utilizing life insurance, one is like fixed index annuities, but
Right.
both of the strategies do have a death benefit associated with it. The most popular strategy, if you're looking for income, the good scenario historically has been, let's say you roll over $100,000, start pulling out 8,000 guaranteed for life. The market keeps going up, hypothetically, you're able to replenish that $8,000 through the contracts, which historically you have, and you're able to keep all of your principal while drawing down on your money. So, I mean, that's a huge part because then when you do pass, whatever's left, that death benefit would be transferred to your beneficiary. And another cool feature is let's say you put in 100, you're taking out eight, and then because the market's doing well with these contracts, it goes to like 150 over a
Mm.
few years. Well, now you have an option. You can pull the full $50,000 out on top of receiving the $8,000, or you can then annuitize at an older age. And now instead of getting an additional 4,000, you probably get an additional 5,500 or 6,000. So now you can increase your income to let's say $14,000 a year. So it does have sort of like a COLA built in because we know that inflation expenses are going up, Social Security's level, most company pensions are level. So it's giving you that flexibility to cover increased costs in the future.
No, that's nice. That's nice to have that, and I see how all the strategies are put together now. But let me ask you this: so that you said there's 100,000 you can pull out, then that's 8,000 per year.
It's based on your age and your
Mm.
sex, but the rule of thumb, if you were to look at prudent man strategy, is only 3 to 3.5%. By going into an income annuity, you put all that risk on the insurance companies where you can never outlive the money. So that's
Hmm.
why they pay you anywhere between 6 and 9%
Mm,
of your
okay.
money, which is over double the average that any investment advisor would advise you to take.
Right. So if you multiply that out, you can actually, set up your income basically, so you could set to retire. Well, that's phenomenal. How does everyone get hold of you?
Yeah, so you can give me a call on my business cell phone at 203-815-3673. You can book a meeting directly on my calendar at calendly.com/Ironhawk Financial. You can go to my website, www.ironhawkfinancial.com, go to a contact us form and just fill out your name, your email, and your phone number, and I'll reach out to you personally, or one of my colleagues will. And it's very simple to meet with somebody like me, because at the end of the day, I'm here to bring value. And if you see value in me, we work together. If you don't see value in me, it didn't cost you anything, and you're going to learn a lot.
And you got a cup of coffee.
And you get a free cup of coffee. Yeah.
What such a deal. So, I mean, you could say those again, but I'll put them in the link in the description, the video, so people will have it. But if someone's just driving or something, say your number and email and website again.
Sure, it's 203-815-3673. The website is www.iron, like the metal, hawk, like the bird, financial.com. You can also book a meeting on calendly.com/ironhawk financial. And for all the Hidden Day listeners, I'm offering all three of my books that I've published on Amazon for free, emailed to you just by writing an email to Joe, Joe, at ironhawkfinancial.com, and just put free books. And I'm
Mm.
not going to hound you. I'm not going to try and chase you. I'll send you the books. I'll send you the articles I've been featured in. I'll also send you two Forbes articles, one written by a certified financial planner, one written by a certified public accountant, talking about my strategy, as well as the three books, which is called Being Your Own Bank. There's a better way than a 401k, and long-term care without long-term pain.
Wow, those sound exciting. So remember that. Tell Joe at ironhawkfinancial.com, and tell him David from the Hidden Day sent you, and he'll send you those cool books. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for doing that, Joe. Okay, I like this. So, folks, I would really highly suggest it. What have you got to lose? I mean, it's a free consultation. Oi. So get hold of Joe. Is there any last words you want to add to that, Joe?
My advice right now is don't put all your eggs in one basket. I see a lot of people dumping all their money in crypto. They have all their money in the market. They have all their money in real estate. And unfortunately, all those assets are taxable. So try to at least diversify your taxation, your market exposure, and your liquidity. Most of my clients are hoping for a down market, because my strategy, especially the Be Your Own Bank, is 100% liquid and you cannot lose. So if the market were to drop 50, 60, 70%, my clients are on the sideline waiting to snatch up assets at huge discounts
Mm,
that most people have to sell at extreme losses.
that's right. When there's blood in the streets, right? That's when they buy. Who said that? Wow, that's amazing. Well, listen, I really appreciate you coming on again, Joe, and thank you for helping out all our folks here. Any questions, guys, just email Joe or email me if you forget, the hidden day at protonmail.com, and I'll get you hooked up with them. All right, you guys have a blessed day, and we will see you next time, Lord willing. If we're still here, you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.